Joining us via Zoom on the latest market stock. For now, let's get into business news. All right, welcome back. Let's get into our business news. Eswatini is in a good position to pay its debts as the economy's performance is on a steady growth path. The Director of Research, Sikumbuzo Dlamini, at the central bank said this when sharing the highlights.
Central bank is that we have seen quarterly GDP coming at 7% in fourth quarter of 2023. This was coming mainly from the tertiary sector, which grew by 11.9%. We noted that the primary sector and secondary sector actually contracted during that quarter. But for the year 2023, we're seeing the growth of the economy at 4.8%, with most of the sectors contributing positively to growth. The other thing that we're observing as a central bank is that inflation seems to be coming down. It has come down to 4.1% in March, from 4.3% in February, also from coming down from 4.5% in January, showing that at least up to the end of the financial year 2023-2024, inflation has come down. In terms of our measure, we have looked at inflation not exceeding 5.2% in the short to medium term. Obviously, the risks to inflation would be adjustments in administered prices, such as your fuel and other food items that are administered by government, as well as utilities that may cause our inflation to exceed our current forecast. The other thing that we are observing is that with the current high prices of imports, our reserve position, even though they're at 11.4 billion or 11.6 billion, we are seeing that in terms of import coverage, we're still just hovering around 3.4 months of import cover. This is not to say we don't have the amount of money, but because it has become very expensive in terms of our imports. But we believe that we have sufficient imports to cover even our imports, as well as safeguard the parity with the rand. The fiscal deficit, we want to observe also that the minister has presented a 1.9% budget deficit for 2024-2025. This is coming from a 1.8% deficit in the previous financial year. This shows that at least as a country, we are meeting one of the SADC macroeconomic convergence targets of 3% to or plus 1 in terms of our fiscal deficit. We are hoping that the minister is going to keep this going for the foreseeable future. Another thing, current debt levels are 37.1% of GDP, which is commendable because we're coming from around 43% of GDP sometime last year. And we do note that some of the debt that we got during COVID is now due for repayment. But it does seem that we are going to be able to pay off all those loans.
Futhi Tembe is the new Chief Executive Officer of the Eswatini National Provident Fund. The Chief Executive Officer was announced by the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Honorable Phila Buthelezi, at Happy Valley Hotel today.
Akasiko mushakile ndlela Ndlongeni usevile iminyaka leminengana etigabeni letehlukahlukene le agcine aseva kiso substantively sekuba CFO lesimthulako lamuhla kwekuthi senguye CEO lamusha make futhi Tembe lothatha lesitulo kushayela lenqola indlela Ndlongeni. Njengoba ngishilo ukuthi akasiko musha bekakhona ku-entity. Sinenkolelo lenkulu ekutheni leli phupho nema-objectives alesikhwama iphupho liyayinalo ngonyama nayiqala sona sikhwama utawujinge endesiqiniseko nekubambisana nayo i-board, bambisana nabo bonke labasedlela ndongene nawo onke ama-stakeholders ayo including emalunga alondlela ndongene ekutheni sikhule lesikhwama sifeze tonke leti njongo lesasicalele tona nekuta-ke nama-innovations lamasha ekubukeni ekutheni lesikhwama sithuthuke sibe ngilesikhulu kuletinkulu ngekhathi 7 nangaphandle sisinje asimbonga leyo kunene situlo lahlala kiso uhlala on merit.
I want to declare today that I hold service, excellence, and integrity as my guiding principles. I am committed to leading with the greatest humility and a vision for a bigger and a brighter future for all stakeholders, but beginning with the members of the fund. I intend to listen actively to members' needs, to foster a culture of transparency and trust, and to implement strategies that prioritize their well-being and success. Allow me to express a sentiment that resonates deeply with the essence of how I see leadership. Leadership to me is akin to parenthood, where just as a parent always seeks what is best for their child, a true leader always strives to improve the lives of those that they serve. At the core of leadership lies the unwavering commitment to serve and uplift those that they lead. As I take this role, I would like to pledge today and going forth that I shall lead the ENPF, ensuring that our action as Staff Sendlela Nfongeni always resonate with the heart of service. In concordance with His Majesty's declaration of this year as a year of creating opportunities for all to stimulate economic growth, I am privileged to steer the ENPF towards contributing to this grand national goal. I commit to champion inclusive financial empowerment and to spearhead innovation investment strategies that are robustly grounded in environmental, social, and governance, which are the ESG principles. It will be our collective endeavor to foster economic growth, to forge pathways to prosperity for all, and to build a brighter future for our nation.
It's 9 minutes after 2. Let's take a break. We will resume shortly.
Ujala masoda mahle kunathi lesa.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokhu
Sivile sive sithi khulumeni.
Welcome back. The United States of America and Eswatini have agreed to revive the African Growth Opportunity Act Working Group. This has been announced by the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Honorable Manqoba Khumalo, in a press statement where he stated that this group will play a fundamental role in optimizing the benefits of AGOA for Eswatini. The CEO of Business Eswatini, Inati Dlamini, reacts to this.
As Business Eswatini, indeed the whole private sector, to thank the Honourable Minister of CIT, Commerce, Industry and Trade, for setting up what I think is a special committee to look into the implementation of AGOA in this country. We say thank you. As you all are well aware, AGOA is a market access initiative to the United States that we have had since 2000. And I'm thinking as a country we have not exploited all the opportunities that which AGOA brings to this country. And I'm thinking the minister is aware of that, because I think it's the first time that I have seen a special committee being set up by the minister to look at them in terms of operationalizing this very, very good market access initiative. So we say to the minister, thank you very much, sir, for doing that. You'll be well aware that AGOA was promulgated in this country by Bill Clinton in the year 2000 to augment what they used to call GSP, Generalized System of Preferences, if you remember. And I remember his words when he did that, the president, was that, I want Africa to trade itself out of poverty. And I think every time we talk about AGOA, those words from the president still linger in my mind. And indeed, I think it behooves us as a Maswati now to exploit the opportunities, market access opportunities, especially against the backdrop of this Africa Free Continental Trade Area. Free access to America is a big market, and it also comes with foreign exchange benefits for this country. And I think this time we need to embrace it with both hands.
That was the Business Eswatini CEO, Nathi Dlamini, reacting to the Honourable Minister's statement. I'm now joined by Nelson Ndangamandla, our in-house business journalist, to have this discussion further. Nelly, welcome. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. The CEO, Nathi Dlamini, was reacting to the minister's press statements that released yesterday on the AGOA working group. What is the AGOA working group and how important is it?
Thank you so much, Lulu Mpusele Nembugele Kaya. Le working group lena imtoga, because now we will have a group that will focus on increasing the exports to the US from Eswatini. It means bonke labo shugela, because we are exporting sugar, and in the manufacturing sector, timbahla, this is the places where we are exporting more, and stawubona ukuthi statibona letimfo letitikhula, because it means now we will have a group that will focus ukuthi eMaswati nabosomabhizinisi beMaswati basolo nyalo bangena kakhulu kule export industry lena, njengoba ashito CEO ukuthi lana awuchargewa lutho ikakhulu, utawukhona nje kuvele uexporte. But we have made sure to ask businesses Eswatini ukuthi, what have you been doing all these years to help labo somabhizinisi? Because ukhanza ukuthi labo somabhizinisi bakhona, but ibede kahle le information. We asked the CEO ukuthi, what are you going to do? And he explained ukuthi nathi sitawuphuma sibe visible, siqinisekise ukuthi bosomabhizinisi they know more about this act. We know ukuthi there is Christopher Wall, who we talked to last week nga AGOA, lo se ase American Embassy, who is now handling indzaba ya AGOA ukuthi bosomabhizinisi belive leSwatini basalo ba benefita fully from this act. So we are hoping ukuthi bosomabhizinisi they will take advantage of this act.
Right. So will this pave a way to a sustainable economic growth and also increase in investments?
Kakhulu Lulu, because it means eMaswati nangabe exporter more, it means nema foreign reserves ethu atobusteka, ungakhanzi nje ma reserves ethu sekehlile alapha phasi kubo 2 months, which is not what is recommended by the International Monetary Fund. Because if we export more, it means ukuthi sitawuchubeka silive usimame umnotho la ngekhathi vele.
So look, Vele also it will create more jobs, yes, by reviving the working group.
Yes, because loku kusho ukuthi uma ngabe tinkampani tala kangwane tichubeka ti exportela to the US, it means more job opportunities vele, ngoba kusho ukuthi atawukhula nala mabhizinisi, atawundlondlobala eMaswati lamaningi atawucasheka. We are yet to see, we are going to follow up on what is being done to ensure ukuthi lama benefits ale AGOA they fully contribute to the improvement of the lives of eMaswati. We know ukuthi kunalo 6,700 duty free products la ngamikiswa e-US ngemabhizinisi ase-Eswatini. But nangithi ngiyabuka nje i-research yami lapha ku-US Embassy ngibona ngathi lokuhamba kakhulu ngishukela, kuhambe kakhulu agriculture, fruits and nuts nakhona, kuhambe kakhulu bo beet vegetables lapho, but kude kakhulu lokuthi vele eMaswati have fully exploited le opportunity lena.
Yeah, so look, they've taken full advantage. Local businesses, can you confirm? But in get still as cuts, they've taken this opportunity.
According to the business community and according to the Ministry of E-Commerce, Industry and Trade, Maswati have taken advantage of this opportunity, but they have not taken it the advantage fully kule opportunity lena, because we are seeing ukuthi kunema industries la solo alekha la solo mhlawumbe angakhoni ku-exporta asengibekise nje nangekwe ukuthi ka manufacturing, yes we are exporting, but as exporting ngale ndlela mhlawumbe labagadze ngayo ukuthi ngabe exporta ngayo. Nasibuka kubo 2009 we were exporting more, but ezile minyaka ichubeka kubo 2018 2019 nangibuka kungathi kuyehla loku exporta kwethu when comparing it to lebo 2008 2009. I think that is why the minister has made sure ukuthi kuba naleli committee leli, kuba naleli bandla leli working with the US Embassy lelita uqinisekisa ukuthi eMaswati athi kabandi nga-AGOA futhi ayakhona lokuthi a-export under this act.
All right, Snelly, let's take a look at the next clip. Nakona, sort of a reaction, just Inati encouraging Abuzuma business good they should take on this opportunity.
Sector again rise and exploit this opportunity. But if you should need any help, and I think the Honorable Minister has set up that committee to assist each and every one of you, please reach out to us and we'll point you the right direction to the committee so you can speak what has been set up to help you export to the USA. And SPE, we support that move, and we will be helping government also in ensuring that this is done and done expeditiously and efficiently.
Yeah, Nelly, that was Inati Dlamini, CEO, Business Eswatini CEO. Basically, just encourage our small business to go babe basebenzele thuba khona nivele manye ma opportunities nje la khona.
Akhona ama opportunities la khona, and we are hoping ukuthi njengobeke sekusethwe leli committee leli kune eMaswati atawukhona kakhulu ukuthi akhone kuzuza ngalokuphelele etikhwameni letikhona, especially from the US Embassy. Ngeke ngabuka nje kune Africa Trade Investment lapho khona emavela amaningi la ku Sub-Sahara Africa aniketwa grants lapho khona akhona ukuthi mhlawumbe akhone kwenda emabhizinisi bosomabhizinisi bakhone kuchuma nalabanye so that we increase our exports. We know ukuthi silive solo asikhona exporta kakhulu, so nayo leyo mhlawumbe igrant lemcoka kakhulu lekhona at the US Embassy, which we are hoping ukuthi by the establishment of this group mhlawumbe ngeke focus nje kakhulu kulo AGOA, but itawuse iyabuka nekwekuthi engabe vele eMaswati abenefita kangakanani kulawo ma grants lawo leke i-US Embassy yakhuluma ngawo ukuthi nelive leseSwatini khona lenye indzawo lapho balisita khona. We are hoping ukuthi with the great strides that the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade is taking towards empowering local businesses, sawubona bosomabhizinisi kenyalo bakhona exporter rather than lokuthi nje bahlale la ngekhathi eveni bangakhoni ukukhokhela timfo tabo ngaphandle.
Yeah, speaking of bosomabhizinisi nje le umfla kubo le interest lenshisekelo ikhona invele nasikhuluma nje tona tindzaba te ku exporter, how interested and like ba interested kangakanani nje kito tindzaba leti?
Bosomabhizinisi, they are very much interested ukuthi ba export, but the advice from the US Embassy, especially ngalana kule AGOA Act, was maybe the US market is a very big one. It's huge. Utawuhlangana mhlambe naletinye tingabekelwano letikhona, but they are willing to work with them there. But bathi bona asawuqale nje utrade la eAfrica, utrade ukhokhele la ngaphandle eAfrica, so that you'll be aware of some of the expectations of trading outside the country ngoba lokukhulu kakhulu nje nalaba kushito kwekuthi lokuhamba kola even lokunye ngipelepele which is a market lesanza kuvuleka bathi ke bona mhlambe ungathengisa nabo ma preserved fruits nabo ma nuts khona lena lokunye lokuhambako bosoma business bayafisa loku trader but lokubonakala ukuthi bede vele lolwati kahle which is why kuba nema seminars lapho khona batawufundziswa khona nekuthi nangabe ufuna lokwekuthi u trade outside the country yati ngale market know your competitors kuthi who am I competing with ngoba kunabo soma business le kubo Kenya kulamanye emave lapho khona nabo kuthafana how is yours different from le yabo.
Yeah, ngiyakhumbula nele ukuthi last week besikhuluma ngetindzaba tema standards lokuthi
Yes.
it's important nakhona ukuthi babe well versed in tema standards kugcina nje vele lama seminars laba abambako babafundise ngama standards vele kusita kanganani ukuthi bakhicite vele ama products lasezingeni elifanele.
Bosoma business labaningi la even especially laba labancane basete the facilities basete the technologies to ensure ma standards but what is happening is tinkampani letifana nabo Namboard they volunteered kwekuthi bona batawuqinisekisa kwekuthi nawusavuna ulena bayakuthathela ngoba banaletincolwa leti banzako kwekuthi bakuthathele bakulethele ngalana nabafika ngalana tintfo talabalimi tiyapackagwa nako konke lokho because they want to ensure ukuthi balimi bakuleli they meet the standards abashito nje evikini leliphelile kwekuthi vele bayaqinisekisa ukuthi labalimi they handhold them until iproduct yabo iye emarket ngalokuthi vele le standard has to be kept info lephumela ngaphandle kwelive akufanele ukuthi ibe nanoma ngabe ngilesincane nje sici ukhanza ukuthi ayisemukeleki.
All right, thank you so much, Nelly, for joining us this afternoon. Let's take a break. When we come back, we resume with Mr. Sibia.
Ujala masada mahlok nathi lesa.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengaloku
Sivile sive sitikhulumeni.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Right, welcome back. You're still watching Market Watch with me, Lungilele Makakwela. Right about now, I'm joined by our in-house economist, Mr. Sanele Sibia. Mr. Sibia, very good afternoon and welcome to the show. As well as singing Emma Markets, for Maganjani. The dollar held steady against the euro and the yen on Monday today after the most volatile week of trading for the currency market in months, as investors assessed policy and geopolitical developments. What does this mean, actually?
Hi, thank you, Lulu. Thank you for having me. Yes, we are seeing in the currency markets, the dollar is really just holding strong there. So that is actually out on the backdrop. The economy is expecting the US to release economic data this week. So everyone is expecting that strong performance coming through from the United States economy. So we are hopeful that the numbers are going to come up better. So that's why those are the numbers that we are hoping to see this week. The quarterly GDP data coming out of the US, and the market is really just holding on strong towards that, more especially in terms of the forex.
If we could just go over the currencies, how are they performing today?
So what we are seeing today is Lilangeni has gained strength against all major currencies. If you can see, we have made some marginal gains against the dollar. We've made some marginal gains again against the euro, and we've made some marginal gains against lona li dollar. So they're coming back to the 19 region as the Bugatti market and against the dollar, very much hugging the 20 region when you are looking at it against the euro, and gaining just a cent against the Japanese yen. So we are seeing a stronger performance of the rand today. So that is actually of the Lilangeni. So that is actually driven by Lama market forces that we are seeing. You see, we have seen some an easing of the tensions that are happening in the Middle East. So that means trade and companies, you know, the forecast, the way we look at the economy, the way we see the economy has improved. So trade has somehow come out of that fear. Hence, we are seeing this much stronger performance in we are seeing that much stronger performance in the Lilangeni to dollar exchange rate, in the Lilangeni to euro exchange rate, and in the Lilangeni to Japanese exchange rate. That is also driven by the fact that if you look in the US, the markets there, they closed a bit low on Friday because there was still the tension about, you know, what is going to happen in the Middle East. But now those tensions are somehow easing, and we are seeing less and less of a prospect of a full-on war. So that's why we are seeing the currencies really looking up to a better week in terms of trade.
So, Nasbogama performances in our commodities, worries of ongoing tensions between Iran and Israel are becoming an all-out war fading. A little bit has stopped safe haven trade that supported gold prices. And according to Reuters today, gold prices fell more than 1% today.
Yes. So when we go into commodities, you can see that, you know, for once since the past week, we have seen gold losing, just shaving that 1%, and then we have seen Brent crude oil also now shaving that 0.4%. So that means it's the both commodities that we are tracking are coming down a bit. So that one we attribute it to the movements that are happening. You know, once the economy has now come out of that fear, so that Wall Street fear has been averted, and we are expecting a strong earnings week coming up this week. So a number of companies will be declaring their quarter 1 profits this week. So the markets are looking at those movements. So hence we are seeing gold losing a bit of ground because people want to go there and just make that quick in and out type of profit. And because the Middle East has allayed the fears, we are seeing the price of Brent crude also coming down because, you know, the fighting seems to have stopped there, and we are seeing strong language coming up from the US in terms of putting some sanctions on Israel. So that means really they are doing their level best to make sure that the war in the region is contained. So all of that you can see it's also trickled into equities. If you can see across Europe, you have seen the FTSE 100 actually breaking that 8,000 mark, something we've not seen in quite a number of years since COVID started. So now the FTSE is trading at the volumes are way above that 8,000 mark. So it's all green across Europe. And then when you go into China, you will see again that Japan and Hong Kong are trading fairly well. It is only China that is not doing good, purely because, you know, the markets expected more. They expected more stimulus, and then the Bank of China didn't actually give any stimulus in their last meeting last week. So the markets in China actually are responding to that, and you are seeing, you know, there is a huge movement amongst global producers to say, no, let us divest from China, try to diversify the global value chains. So that's an economy that really needs the stimulus, and the government that side seems not to want to give those stimulus. So yeah, that's what we are seeing in the markets. And then in the US again, you can see that, you know, there have been some major losses with the S&P 500 closing at below 5,000. Yet another record that we are seeing in the market. So we are seeing those mixed reactions, but we're hoping that as markets open up in the US and everyone looks forward to the strong economic data that's going to come out sometime this week, and then the huge earnings reports that are coming out this week. So we might see the markets picking up a bit again, given that the fears in the Middle East have been allayed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sbiya, for that analysis on the performance of our markets today. Dear viewer, we've come to the end of our show. Thank you for joining us. We will see you again tomorrow at 2 p.m.
that Israel also believes the hostages are somewhere in Rafah, and the recent rescue of 2 Israeli hostages happened right in the heart of densely packed Rafah. They were being hidden in a building there. Also Israel feels it needs to go there because there's a lot of tunnels, cross-border tunnels from Egypt into Gaza that Israel either wants to destroy or control along what's called the Philadelphia corridor. That's the area that goes up along the Gaza-Egyptian border. This has consistently been a very controversial operation. And now we hear the Prime Minister saying that Israel will intensify its military pressure on Hamas. And that seems to be a reference to Rafah. Remember, he pulled out all of Israel's combat soldiers from southern Gaza on the 6-month anniversary